It is amazing to me how quickly I can get quiet when I remember to breathe. Our society, our world, our individual lives, busy, 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 doing, doing, doing. Sometimes it gets to be a lot. Sometimes my head is too full of the future and the past, and maybe even the present moment. And so when I can remember to just take a breath, everything slows down. All that sense of urgency gets a little more room. It's amazing to me how often I forget to take that breath. I'm too busy to breathe. That's crazy. How long does it take? 3 seconds? 4? Am I worth 3 or 4 seconds? Of course. This month we've been talking about the flow of everything. And today I'm talking about the flow of the present moment. That is my prayer and my practice much more frequently these days. I've not been a person who spends a lot of time in the past. I am definitely a person who has spent a lot of time in the future. Planning, figuring out, managing, handling, organizing. I don't know if that resonates with anybody else, but that's what I do. So my practice, my prayer these days is to spend more time in the present, right now. Right now. My talk has a little synopsis page you can pick up on the way out the door. So you don't have to remember anything I say or try to write down that great quote that I do. You can just be present right now. I know that I'm out of the flow of the present moment when I notice that I feel closed or tight or constricted or restricted. These days, I try to keep things simple. I can just look and see in my body, do I feel open or do I feel closed? That's easy. It's like left or right, up or down, open or closed. I don't have to even analyze, why am I feeling open or why am I feeling closed? Or blah, blah, blah. I don't have to do any of that. I can just notice, oh, right now I feel closed. Right now I feel open. If I notice that I feel closed, often the story that I have is that it's that something outside of me has created my feeling of constriction or tightness or restriction. They, them, or it. Because of them, because of it, I feel this way. I know now, through my years of practice and study, that's not it, that's not the truth, but it feels like that sometimes. So when I can remember to breathe, when I can remember to relax, then I have more space. I remember to pause and just take that long breath. Whatever's going on, I could be in the middle of some very heated discussion with someone, and I can say to them and to myself, pause. Let's take a breath. It helps me to come back to the present moment. Not like, oh, this is like all the conversations and arguments I've ever had with this person, and we're going to bring all this stuff from before. Nope, not going to do that. We're going to pause. Take a breath. I'm not going to get into trying to figure out how it's going to work later or how we're going to manage and handle that. No. Breath. I also get to notice that I can connect with a little phrase that I have that is sort of my personal mantra. I invite each one of us to find one for ourselves. Simple, short, that I can go to. It's like my go-to when I'm forgetting who I am. So I can pause, I can breathe, and I can just do the little mantra real quick in my head. Mine happens to be the beginnings of the poem from Rumi. I really like this. Out beyond all ideas of right doing or wrong doing, all ideas, out beyond my ideas and your ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. Maybe there's a third way. Not my way or your way, but a third way. Maybe. If I don't take a breath, I'll never discover that. So I just say that little thing in my head real fast, and then I can come back and be much more present with whatever's actually happening right now. I also can become open. So I first say I relax, and then I say I am open. I'm open to the possibility that the way that I thought it was, my story may not be accurate. Or it might be one version, but there might be 15 other versions that are also true and accurate. So maybe I can begin to open up to the possibility that there's another story that I haven't seen yet. I'll give you an example. My husband has given me permission to share. So we've known each other for a long time, almost 25 years. We've been married for almost 15. We've been around each other a long time. And I notice with him, as in with other areas of life, I don't know if this is true for you, but there might be some things that he does one way and I do another way, and I had this story that my way was right or better or more perfect. I don't know about you, but that might be a story that I've carried around in some things. Other things, he does way better than me. But some things, it's like, why does he do it that way? Oh, that's just so weird. How could he do it that way? It's not right. Not that it's bad, it's just not right. We have a character that we jokingly call Judgy McJudgerson. So I know that Judgy McJudgerson has showed up in my head as my little voice when I'm thinking to myself, why is he doing it that way? It would be better if he did it this way. So I have an opportunity to notice, oh, there's Judgy McJudgerson. And is there another possibility of another story? So one example is cooking. I do most of the cooking at our house, but every once in a while Will cooks or he cooks for himself. We cook very differently. When I cook, I use a pan, I wash a pan. I use a pan, I wash a pan. I put things away. By the time I'm done, most of the stuff is cleaned up, and all I have is the dinner dishes that we ate on. So I don't have all this work to do. That's just the way I do it. I'm a little bit anal retentive, just a little bit. When Will cooks, and I also use this spoon, and then I rinse it, and then I use it again, and then I rinse it, and then I use it again. When Will cooks, every pot and pan in the kitchen, it gets dirty, and every utensil comes out of the drawer, and I'm like, what is that? I don't get that. That's crazy. Now, does the food get cooked? Absolutely. Is the kitchen a much messier place? Absolutely. Why do I care? I noticed that I had this little story in my head. He was careless and cavalier about the way he did this, about the way he cooks. Careless and cavalier. Isn't that an interesting word to have Judgy McJudgerson come up with, cavalier? So cavalier, like you don't care. And there are other things that I see him do that I feel he's careless and cavalier, just like, doesn't matter, I'm just going to throw this stuff around. That's not a good story I want to have with my husband, but it's one I've had. I've carried it for a while. Somehow, this week, I love how a talk works on us before we give it. So I start thinking about this idea of being in the present moment, and I'm relaxing, and I'm open to a new story, and I walk into the kitchen, and he's cooking dinner, and normally I have to just go, great, he's cooking dinner, and I have to leave. I just leave the room, because I don't want to be putting my negative energy into the space. I just want to let him do his thing. This week, I walked in, and I saw him cooking, and something happened. Something like there was this sudden rush of grace, this sudden spaciousness that happened. And I got a new story. Just poof, like literally, it was like a miracle. A new story. He's being a chef. And when I look at chefs cook, they're flipping things around and they're doing all this stuff. And he's got not careless or cavalier, he's doing flourishes. He's doing chef-like flourishes. He likes to flip the thing in the pan, and I very carefully with my spatula, he's flipping it. He's having fun. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing. My whole perspective shifted. Now, I knew in my rational, logical brain that this was a story and that he's not cavalier and all this stuff. But somewhere in my body, that still lived. Because if I walked in and he was cooking, I'd get that tight, constricted feeling. I got to go. I'm just going to go. I love him so much, I'm just going to walk out of the room. Now, I feel this space. I can walk in. I don't care what he's doing in the kitchen. I'm grateful he's cooking food. A moment of grace. A new story. So I relax. I become open to the idea that maybe my way is not it. It's not the only way. If I can take the story and I can go shh and just look at it from another angle and then shh and then look at it from another angle. Maybe if I look at it from his point of view. I could even play a game and write this stuff down on a piece of paper. Once upon a time, there was a woman who really got pissed off when her, and then I could make up that story. I could write out all the juicy details about how he was wrong and did it the wrong way and write it all out. The end. And they lived miserably ever after. The end. Now I want to write a new story. So I could say, from his point of view, maybe once upon a time, there was this guy who loved to cook and loved to pretend he was a chef when he was cooking. And write it from his point of view. Write it from the point of view of an observer that's not even in it, that's watching us do our thing. There's at least 3 possibilities right there. There's probably at least 100 more. So play with it. I don't want to work at anything anymore. I want to play with God. I want to play with ideas. I want to play with my prayers. I want to play the game of life. So that's an invitation. Play with it. Make a new story. My terrible, tragic childhood, once upon a time. If you look at kids' stories, they're full of doom and gloom and death, and parents die, and they've got these mean people chasing them, and they're dark. So write a dark story first, and then write a different one. Just see. So the third step for me, I relax, I'm open, I'm listening. Prayer work, meditation, I listen for a bigger, deeper truth than my own limited idea. I'm going to read you a quote from The Presence Process by Dan Brown. We discover that it isn't seeking out the extraordinary that makes for an extraordinary life, but that it's in our capacity to take each seemingly ordinary moment and embrace the extraordinary energy of presence flowing through it. The ordinary moment that contains within it the extraordinary. How many of us have spent all this time seeking extraordinary experiences, jumping off the cliffs and parachuting and going to the transcendental state and trying to be one with God and all this work to have an extraordinary moment that we can then refer to for the next 20 years. I remember that one time. What if every single moment was extraordinary? What if this moment was extraordinary? What if chopping the vegetables and folding my clothes and washing the dish because I have water and soap and a dish to wash becomes extraordinary? What if when I connect with you eye to eye, when I look at the checkout person at my grocery store instead of on my phone or just blindly going about my thing, and I just say, thank you for ringing me up today. Now the moment is extraordinary. What if? I relax, I am open, I am listening, and for me the final step is I am here. I am here, and the great I am is here. I don't have to look for God. I don't have to seek for God. I am here. Here, in this moment, right now. Another quote from Dan Brown. We are and always will be the center of our experience. Our experience is only happening because we are in it. Therefore, it's our responsibility to constantly recommit to being as present as possible. It's our responsibility to keep the awareness of what peace is alive within ourselves. This is the important part. By consciously choosing to feel peaceful for a few moments each day. A few moments, not all day. Can we be peaceful? Consciously choose to be peaceful for a few moments each day. Just a breath. It's our responsibility to unconditionally give ourselves that which we seek to receive. I have to give myself love before I can receive love. I have to give myself abundance before I can receive abundance. I have to give myself joy. Recognize it's always there, already within me, before I can receive and be present to the joy that is out here. We get it backwards. I need this. Please fill me up. Now I'm full. Now I can give to you. It's the other way around. I fill myself. I allow that thing that is always present within me to fill me like a spring from the earth that is always filling the well. And then I can give from my overflow if I'm present. So I'm going to invite us into a little process. I had a chant that popped through my brain this week, and Devavani lovingly and willingly said she would put it to music. Kenny's coming back up. So we're going to go through a little process. We're going to do the chant twice, and then I'm going to lead you through a little guided piece, and then we'll do the chant twice more, and then we'll be done. Sounds like a deal? Okay. So I invite you to settle in your chair. The chant is super easy. You've heard it already. I relax. I am open. I am listening. I am here. So we'll do it twice, and then we'll go to the next step.
I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here. I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here. I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here. I relax. I am open. I am listening. I am here. I relax. I am open. I am listening. I am here. I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here. I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here. I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here.
So I invite you to gently open your eyes and just look at your hands. Look at the palms of your hands. Notice all the lines. Imagine you've never seen this hand before. Look at the backs of your hands. Some of us have age spots. Some of us have more wrinkles than we used to. But they're still so beautiful. Really see them as if for the first time. Imagine all these hands have done. All the loving, all the chores, all the care these hands have given, all the other hands they've held. And if you're willing, gently place your hands on both sides of your face, right on your cheeks, as if a loving parent were touching your face. Imagine the archetype of the loving mother or the loving father. So deep, so unconditional, so sweet. Stroke your cheek. Just love your face.
I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here, I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here, I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here, I relax, I am open, I am listening, I am here.
Take a breath. Feel that love. And let's welcome Steve back up.